Yeah.
All right, here we go. Us, everyone. Us, welcome to the Kyokushin Shuffle. Thanks, everyone. And I hope you're all doing well. I'm in the dojo. We're back. We're allowed to fucking move here in Melbourne, so fantastic news. And I have a very, very special guest here. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Nick Kara, or Kara, as he was just gesturing. Nick, Kara, how are you? How are you going?
I'm good. I'm very well, thanks. Yeah. Living the dream, as I say.
Well, thanks for this. Now, I know, your gym has just opened up, so all things are firing, and, that's why you've gone into the car just because there's music blaring and everything's all happening.
Music's pumping and all that, yeah.
I'm here at Hammers and music's blaring as well, so to our guests, this is just a special way to just have a good chat here. So, Nick, hey, congratulations, you're back. You've reopened your new facility. Give us a walkthrough on how things are going thus far.
Well, Patrick, we only opened the week before the lockdown, yeah?
Yeah.
And so we didn't have many members on it. Oh, okay. The opening day we had 350, 400 people walk through the door. And we thought this is gonna be awesome. And then all of a sudden, 1 week later, lockdown, yeah. So yeah, it's good to be back, man. It's good to be back. Well, good to have some sort of light at the end of the tunnel, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm sure you feel the same, and everyone else who's got gyms and whatnot, businesses feel the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I was trying to catch you as well, and I appreciate your time here. So let's have some fun, and again, let's just more so for the listeners to get a grasp of Coach Nick and his experience and what he's been through. And he respectfully gestured when I asked him to have a chat. He's not someone that goes and does too many interviews and so on, but with his business, pumping and so much happening in the industry, I thought, let's have a fun chat in the meantime. So Nick, how did martial arts enter your life? When did it start?
When we first bought a video player, the video recorders back in I don't know, was it late 70s?
Yeah.
And the first video that I borrowed was Enter the Dragon, I think.
Yeah.
And then it was all the Bruce Lee movies, whatever. Then ever since then, I just wanted to do karate. I was always a boisterous little boy. I was running a market, full of energy. But yeah. So basically, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. It's a pretty boring story, but pretty common story. But there's nothing like something fell out of the sky. But yeah, basically, then I wanted to do karate. And so that's when I was probably about 9 years old, 10 years old when I wanted to start.
And then did you start karate, or was it the fad thing, or was it I'll do my own thing in the backyard and tear it up?
No. I was looking for gyms at local primary schools. So I think it was grade 4, grade 5. So how old was I then? Anyway, then so we done the primary school thing in the gym there for a little bit, and then sort of veered off from that for a little while. Then when we were 13 years old, so it was like year 7. Something from memory, many moons ago, yeah. Right, so that year 7, I had all the boys from high school. They was whispering stuff, and I'm like, "What are you whispering?" They're like, "All right, we're gonna tell you, but don't tell anyone, okay? Tell me. We're gonna start kickboxing, kickboxing, or it was kickboxing, yeah." I'm like, "I want to do kickboxing," and that's when the Zendu Kai journey came.
All right.
Started from there. Yeah, we went to so 9 of us started.
Yeah.
And only one remained there, and that was me. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So when you get in with the boys and you get into the kickboxing side of it, I mean, it's straight into it, right? The combinations, the techniques, the face punches, it's the works. And was that you love that, or did you love the fitness, or did you love hanging with the lads? I
just wanted to hit things. Yeah, I was just the thought of hitting things. You know what I mean? And learn defense. Learn attack. But when you're a young kid, okay. I mean, I never had a male role model to show me the ropes. So you know what I mean? So this was sort of more or less to look at my instructors and I like, okay, so more or less show me the ropes, which is foundations, karate, Zendu Kai. It was big in those days. You know what I mean? I started with George Papadopoulos and Con Andrianopoulos. Wow. And actually I seen him not long ago too. I was like a little kid, shy little kid. But anyway, started with them, and I just wanted to learn to hit.
Yeah.
fight, to learn to fight, you know. And Zendokai was karate based. You had katas, had the rest of it. That was all exciting when you're at that age, yeah.
Yeah,
And grading system and all that. So yeah.
Yeah, it builds that discipline and then accountability.
Builds that discipline,
and
respect, honor, adversity, you know, all the foundations that you can move on for the rest of your life, you know what I mean? With business, relationships, you know what I mean? Well-being, whatever. Never give up type of attitude, you know what I mean? So I find that my daughter's coming to the gym now. She's not even 2 years old.
Sure.
And she's going to learn all that stuff.
How cute.
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
indeed.
It's just yeah.
Good point. So, you know, when that's all blossoming as such and the teenage, you know, Nick Carra is starting to, you know, get stronger, get bigger, get fitter. You know, is there a turning point when you started to take it to that next level? Was it the coaches that gave you the nod, or was it you that went?
Well, I had my first fight at 15 years old, and I was at the Hombu in the Flinders Street. I don't know if you remember.
Yes.
Flinders Street Hombu. So I was doing fights every weekend, or was it Wednesdays or something like that, from memory. But I know it was an evening type of thing. So I had my first fight there. It was kickboxing. So I had, from memory, those shin pads. I was So I fought one of Percy Lanciano's boys, right? Jeez. And knocked him out. So that was at 15 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first fight. It was above waist. Those days it was above waist. Yeah, you had to throw 8 kicks around or else you get penalized. So a lot of above waist. Yeah. So
and did that rush get you then, or was it you were just in it? You were just in it and just going.
You know what? I mean, when you're at that age, I don't know. I wasn't scared of anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not scared of anything now. You know, I shouldn't talk like that. But I mean, I wasn't afraid of anything. I just wanted to fight. You know what I mean? So I didn't think about losing, winning. I just wanted to fight. And I know even at that age, I was very active. Yeah. So whatever I put my mind to, I know I'll do good. Even at that age, but I was always doing a lot of other things too. You know what I mean? But if I concentrate on one thing, and I did at one point in my life, you know what I mean? And I sort of took it to a different level. But so I started fighting. I, 15, 16, and 17, and then
and then and with that comes
karate. Sorry.
Yeah. No, and with that role, you were again, like you just said then.
Because at the same time we were doing point scoring karate fights too. You know what I mean? You tag them, point, you know what I mean, and whatever like that. So I was doing a lot of them. I did a lot of them. So I won all of those ones. So it was just the competing. You know what I mean? The contact, the competing, the whole aspect about it. Like, you know. Yeah. And that rush, but you don't know that rush when you're a young kid, but there's the rush, the endorphins and all that, you know.
Which leads me to when it started to, and when I call it like the bigger events, when you started knocking on the door there, how are you taking your training, or how are you taking your professionalism to that next level? You know.
You know what? I'm a firm believer of. I know my people might think wrong, you know what I mean, especially this day and age or whatever, where the parents should push their kids to do stuff, as in, karate, tennis, whatever sport, all sports, whatever it may be, you need that little push to, you might, but you can't push them. No, you have to push them. So I wasn't pushed. I was self-motivated, right? Yes. But if I had someone that was pushing me to do stuff, it would have been totally different. Yeah. If I had an Eddie Kassab, you know what I mean? Pushing me, taking me to the gym, ripping me apart, getting angry, do this, do that, whatever, screaming at me, carrying on, and swearing, whatever. Yeah, it would have been different, but I was self-motivated. So I didn't take it as serious. Even though I loved it, I got the rush, I did go every training session. I was such a pest that I forgot that my Conrad Giannopoulos reminded me that he barred me for a month, right? And I'm like, fucking really? I'm sorry for swearing. I'm like, really?
No, you can swear. That's fine.
Yeah, okay. I'm like, you fucking know. I remember. Okay, actually, he did, right? So I was a pest. I just wanted to make people laugh. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But So then, so I didn't take the fights seriously. I didn't take the training that I know the last 20 years different. Compared to when I was younger. But if that's someone pushing me, it would have been different. But I had to do it myself. So I just had to learn the hard way. You know what I mean? So I got sidetracked. You know what I mean? Bit here, football there, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But I guess you're talented as well. There's those lads that are talented, and then there's the ones that add in the hard work to it, and then there's the ones that are gifted, and you kind of had a combination of everything.
Well, I don't like to talk about myself like that, but I was gifted. I was talented, gifted. Like you just said, there's people that are gifted and they're just naturally gifted. They can do anything. You can play ping pong and next day it's fighting for a world title, WBC world champ. You know what I mean? If you put that mindset, because that's what they got in their blood. And there's people that need to train hard and they get good. There's people that train so hard to be average, and there's people that just train a cunning, but they do what they can do. But they're the ones you got to look up to, because they're the ones that try the hardest. But when you got so much talent, like, well, I could do this tomorrow. I'll fight there. I'll do it. I won't even train. I'll beat this guy. And that's what I did a couple of times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, so, I appreciate you sharing that. And that's why I alluded it that way.
And again, if I had like my mum did her best.
Yeah. No doubt. Yeah.
Sorry.
So Nick, you are a good way of just segueing into how you. Oh, internet connection unstable. 1 second. So you were just gesturing now, with all the talent and gift and so forth, but then your enthusiasm must have continued to just take over, because, like I said, where was that window where it was like, shit, I can't just be doing what I'm doing. I have to now do something different. Or did you just keep going at the rate you were because you were happy with it and you had fun doing what you were doing?
I did have fun and happy with it. And then all of a sudden, license came, driver's license came. The going out Fridays, Saturdays came, and no money on Sunday. Go back to your apprenticeship. Earning $116 a week, being a mechanic. Then the girlfriends came, so I had a bit of a break then, right?
Yeah,
then
sure.
I had 3 fights. I won 3 of them, and then I had a bit of a break. Then I had another fight. I fought at Dallas Brooks Hall on a Chris McCroner's card, right? Everyone fought on that card. Tosca was on that card. Tony Takashi was on that card. You know what I mean? Sears, right? Mate, all this. There was Chris McCroner used to be super shows, man. Every fight was a main event. And so I had a fight there, and I didn't take that serious, and I was a bit cocky. So I sort of not stage fright. In other words, just swinging away, didn't even listen. It wasn't, if I had my mindset now, no one could touch me now. If I had my mindset now, like, they say, but I guarantee you, no one. The only person can beat me is me, right? I ended up losing that fight by split decision. And then I had a break again. That was about 21. I had a break. And then I did my back at work. So I was out of action for a while, a long time. Right. You know what I mean? And I was in a lot of pain. I'm still in a lot of pain, but it doesn't matter. Whatever. We're always in pain. You're martial artists, you're always in pain. Yeah. So in the end, I bit my tongue. Spoke to Ron Parr, who's one of my best mates. Nick Tellecruz was back training with Nick. Well, even when I was on the work cover and all that, I was training, and they knew I was training anyway. So I was training just with my mindset. I just, even pain and no pain. I had to train. That was the only thing because I was pretty depressed, when I got injured.
Sure.
So basically, there was a bit of a gap from 24 to 27, 28. And then I spoke to Ron, spoke to Ultimate Promotions, Johnny Skeeter, Paul DiMacaulay. And I go, mate, Nick, just have a couple of fights and that's it. And then you get that out of your system. And a couple of fights end up being 18 fights or something, you know what I mean? Oof. 17 fights later. Even though in pain every single day, and they could have walked apart. I didn't care. I was gonna do it. And that's when they're the fights that you see on YouTube and whatever, all those fights. The other fights, I haven't got any. I've got one. I had 5 before those other. Anyway,
and you just sharing that, it's for the listeners. Everyone's got their journey, and the more I talk to different people, whether they're fighters, coaches, or teachers or students, everyone's got a journey. Everyone has to understand and appreciate that it's not as smooth fucking sailing as it may seem or as it looked.
Well, it wasn't when I was in my late teens, early 20s. You know what I mean? Because I want to hang out with my mates. You know what I mean? If I didn't have that push, Naser wants to hang out with mates. Naser's got a big fight next year, And they take whole of January off. I go, mate, you ain't taking January off. And his dad goes, mate, we're driving back, and you're going to train every day because it's a big cut. So I didn't have that.
Yeah.
So I veered off and I play it up and whatever.
Yeah. No.
Doing what a teenager, what an early 20s person would do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I missed a little bit there, mate. If I had knuckled down and did when I had the direction, I would have had 80 fights, 100 fights, but I didn't. But I've been around a long time, and
And again, okay, there you have it. So what was, in not putting you on the spot, but there's ones that are favorite fights. There's one that was the toughest fight. There was one that took you to another level. There was one overseas. Was there something? If you hear those things come to mind, what's the one that where you kind of go, whether it was it adversity that gave you a really nice win, or was it a loss that changed you into the next chapter for you? Something along those lines?
It's funny how the mind works, though. Yeah, you're strong up here. It's just anyone can accomplish anything. They put that mindset to it. My first fight back when I was 27, 28, the first fight on the Ultimate Promotions. I trained like 9 weeks, 10 weeks, 3 times a day, 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, for 3 2-minutes, mate. 3 2-minute rounds, right? And I just went ballistic because I got an excessive compulsive disorder with everything I do. It's either all or nothing. It's got tattooed on my arm. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Yeah. And I didn't go to my best mates' birthdays and stuff because they're smoking. No, I'm not going. So I took that serious. And that's a mindset I should have had through all the way, even at the end of my career. But yeah, anyway, that's another story. But so when I came out, I did train. I trained really, really, really hard for that fight. But that fight only lasted like 36 seconds. You know what I mean? The one fight that really, really stood out was against Manson Gibson.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if you heard of that name. That guy,
no.
Manson Gibson. Look him up, mate.
Us
Hammer will know this guy. This guy he's had 100 wins, 68 knockouts, 6 losses in Las Vegas, right? He's fought Ernesto Hughes, dropped him twice. He's fought Tosca, beat Tosca. Dean Jacobs beat Jacobs. He's knocked out, mate, 68 people.
Endless.
I went to Vegas with 12 fights. We had to lie to the Nevada Boxing Commission, say I had 48 fights. You know what I mean? So otherwise I wouldn't let us fight. Yeah.
Jesus.
And the thing is, I was going through some dramas, you know what I mean, before that. So I didn't know if I could leave the country or not.
Sure.
Just being boys and trying to help out people, but whatever, live and learn. And then when all that drama's finished, I got a phone call. Nick, what happened? Yeah, I'm all right. You're right to fly? Yeah, I'm all right to fly. Mate, come here to Thailand because in 2 weeks you're fighting in Las Vegas, Manson Gibson. I'm like, I didn't say no. Yeah, I'm like, Manson Gibson. All right. Because I didn't try. I wasn't training because I thought I was going on, so I wasn't training. I was like, all right, I'm coming. So that was it. Trained 2 weeks to fight the world's best 5-time world champion. Mate, this guy, if you Google this guy's name, this guy's the Black Butterfly. He's spinning, hook kick spinning, back fist spinning, hook spinning, side kick spinning, mate. Us Hammer would know because it's just nuts. He's nuts. Manson Gibson. So I went there. Stardust Casino, right? Stardust Casino. 2 weeks later, all of a sudden, I'm fighting this guy that no one wanted to fight.
Yeah.
I was meant to fight this Cole guy, the promoter's main boy. They sent a video of one of my fights. They go, nah, you're not fighting this guy. You can fight only Manson Gibson. Whatever. Right? Yeah. So Wayne Parr fought on the same card.
Oh, cool.
John Wayne Parr fought on the same card. Like, it was under Master Toddy's promotions. And then Ron Parr goes to me, not one punch, not one kick until I tell you. I go, what do you mean? Just knee and elbow. That's it.
Okay.
Wow.
Fascinating.
My first full Thai rules fight. Even though I did Thai boxing, but there was full elbows and everything. And it's a bit different with the rules in Vegas because you're not allowed to pull the head down when you knee, all that stuff. So first fight, full Thai rules fight. Fighting a god like the Mike Tyson or Roy Jones Jr. of boxing, right? In kickboxing, and this guy's knocked out a lot of people, right? And I, you know what? I went in the attitude, go, if I lose to this guy, it doesn't matter. So don't worry about lose or no lose. It doesn't matter. Just go in and give it all. And I'm not one to be scared. I mean, you get nerves, but when the bells go ding, ding, ding,
game on, mate.
Mate. Bring it on, mate,
White line fever.
So first 3 rounds, I fucking put it on him, elbows and everything. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Then I started getting tired because it was 5 3-minute rounds, 1 minute breaks. So I started getting tired, and then I didn't do nothing. 4th round, and Ronnie, like I see in the crowd, Kenny Mai, he was a K1 promoter, and Ray Seafood. I go, oh, Kenny Mai, Ray Seafood. At the end of the 3rd round, and Ron grabs me.
Focus.
And he was about to poke me in the face, right? He hit me, like slap me, wake me up because he knows what I was doing, yeah?
Yeah.
And so he sees the camera that so points at me. Come on.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, so now goes, you can kick and punch in the 5th round. I'm like, I can't even fucking breathe, mate. But anyway, we did it. Probably the fight that made me, like, really, all these people that tried have failed, right?
Yeah.
And I did it in 2 weeks' notice. Had to make weight and the rest of it in 2 weeks' notice. And all the people that didn't believe I was going to do it, I was going to win. I said, Mum, I'm not scared of anything. I'd fight.
Yeah,
Ron had belief in me. Daniel Dawson had belief in me.
Right.
You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and all these other, no one, whatever. But anyway, all good.
Yeah. Oh man, how cool is that, listeners? That's awesome. Nice. Again, within the time frame that we have for you to put it in that context, I'm on the edge of my seat here. I'm ready to go. That's really cool. So what happened? I mean, afterwards, in the manner of how you felt, and again, like how you just get out and then you're like,
I got a world title out of that, right? But the promoter didn't promote it as a world title fight. But when I won the fight, they presented me a WMTA world title, right? So I'm like, it wasn't even advertised as a world title fight. But these guys, world champions fighting. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Fighting the contenders, right? So anyway, but when I won that fight, you see me in the ring. When I put my hand up, I just went straight to the ground. I'm like, I was just exhausted. I'm gone. You know what I mean? I left it all in the ring. It didn't sink in because I mean, literally, Patrick. It's like you're fighting Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? And you're beating Mike Tyson. He was the best. He was one of the best, mate. He's one of the. He's a very unorthodox type of guy, but that's what made him being the best. Yeah, and then okay, so it didn't sink into me. I didn't leave the hotel room. Ray Seafood was coming to the hotel room about 3-4 times trying to take us out to dinner. And I'm like, Daniel, we better ring him up. You know what I mean? And get in contact because he came to take us out. So I got out. When I got back to Australia, or when I got back to Thailand, that's when it hit to me because Seafood, Robert McGuinness, he's the one that brought the team together. He's the one that gave me that opportunity to go there. He's the one that got me and Ron, whatever. They go, mate, you just fucking you're a world champion. You just beat a world champion. And then it started to click. Click. And I'm like, because you know what? If I put my mind to anything, I know. And I don't say that because I know. If I put my mind to anything, I can beat anyone if I've got my mindset right. If I'm not getting distracted on the little things I'm getting distracted by. And
how special.
So that one probably stands out the most. There's a couple other good fights as well, boxing and stuff. But that one was it.
You answered it perfectly, no doubt. Thank you for that. And that's really cool to hear it. And really cool because this is why I started the show, Nick, because there's so many cool stories like that. And I've been around a long time in respect of martial arts. And then again, for you to say that fighter, I'm pissed that I don't know him. And now I'm going to watch him and go, oh, I know him. And then I'm probably going to watch your fight and go, I've seen this fight before. So respectfully, well done. And, thank you for sharing it because it's special seeing it.
Yeah, Patrick, the actual fight is not my highlight reels. We see Nick Carey kickboxing. It's got 1 to like about 8. It's around about fight 6 if you see it. Start at take 5 and then it goes to the 6th chapter, whatever. That's the one, mate. Yeah, if you started this guy, you just say, how do you beat this guy? This guy's crazy. Like literally, he'll do 3 spins and all of a sudden spinning hook kick, or 3 spins all of a sudden with a perfect left or right hook or back fist. And he's knocked out a lot of anyway. But and so how do you fight that guy? Ron won me the fight. I'll tell you now. Awesome. If I wanted to do my thing and how I fight in and out style, try to kick, I would have got KO'd. I would have got caught with this one of those crazy things. Ron Parr won me the fight because he's the most strategic trainer. Like this is the plan. And he won me the fight. You're covered up. I got caught. I got caught with all these spinning back fists. I was checking going forwards, checking my legs. So when he spinning back kick, he hit my shins, and then I just came in and just started cutting away. And that's what won me the fight. So
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one. And so, Nick, you know, like you just gestured, you go back to Thailand, you've got your crew, you've got like the crew is in respect of, you know, the team, the unit, the unit there. And then surely phone calls were starting to happen. Surely these other tap on the shoulders were happening. And again, you know.
It's funny you say that because then I was living in Thailand and very hard to get opportunities for my weight in Thailand. You know what I mean? I mean, I fought the gold medalist in Asian boxing. He won the gold medals in Asia or whatever, like Australasia or whatever. I fought him in boxing a couple of times. So that was a pretty good fight.
Cool.
So, but he was like a big 6'3" Thai. He rocked me a few times anyway. But so the opportunities, I was meant to get a fight in Holland, fell through. I was meant to get a fight in Poland. And then when I got the fight, I was getting the fight in Poland. My manager from the ISS camp, you know what I mean? Stephen Robert McGuinness, he said, go to Bangkok. They're asking for a casting for a movie. I'm like, what's a casting? What movie? So then in the end, that's why I didn't go to Poland for that world title. So I wouldn't have done that movie instead.
Well, and again, and if you don't mind sharing the cheeky segue here in regards to that movie, for some of us that, again, the listeners, and I'll put Nick put a clip of yourself up about a month ago. Very fun, very cool to see it in that visual side because it was such a long time ago when I watched it. But share with us a little bit of that you know, experience of the movie scene.
Right. I didn't realize how hard these guys work.
Really? Yeah.
So one time I jumped the gun now. One time we're on set to finish the scene. We were on set for 22 hours. So I had to finish it because I had to leave. Yeah, they had to leave that building, the rent. I mean, whatever the payment, whatever they had the building for, they had to leave it. So we had to finish 22 hours. It's pretty tight. So full respect to all these actors.
You can leave it. You can leave it off, Nick. Just leave it off if you want. It's fine.
No,
you can leave it off.
I don't know why it's coming on. Yeah. So full respect for these people, you know. Okay. So we get a phone call saying they needed a big guy to be in the movie, right? So. Have you got any? Yeah, I got this guy, Nick Cara. We'll send him down with another guy. So I went down to this casting agency. Well, I didn't know, casting, what do we have to do? And plus, I didn't know Thai. So the Thai people were trying to talk English, right? Thai-Glish. So I tried to understand what they'll tell you. You have to get angry or whatever. I'm like, get angry? I don't know. I can't pretend to get angry. I either get angry and then it's gone. You know what I mean? But anyway. I tried to do my scene. They weren't happy with my casting. And then when the other boy came in there, Aaron, they go, Nick, you explain what you want. So Aaron, you got to get angry, you know? And Aaron's going, oh, okay, like what? I'm like, so I grabbed Aaron by the throat. I go, fucking just get angry. Just like this. And I almost squeezed him. And everyone just dropped. One of them had the pen and paper, whatever, the pad, and it just dropped. It goes, yes, you. Right?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
so as we're driving back to Pattaya, because this castle is Bangkok, Steve was ringing me and he's going, mate, you got the part. I go, what do you mean? So we're not fighting in Poland. Don't worry about Poland. You got this part. This is going to be good. But what about Poland? Don't worry about Poland.
Yeah.
And they paid for the casting agency paid for accommodation. I was there on set. I was there for about a week. I was training with them 4 days to get I wasn't training with Tony Jaa. I was training with the stunt crew to get the scene right. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, bang, we're in this like nightclub sort of scene, you know what I mean? And then we're there for 3 nights on set there doing that. Yeah.
Was it 3 nights to do that scene that
I had a 10-minute, mine was I had a speaking role. So I was the only one who had a speaking role. And I nailed it, man. I mean, you know why? Because I get to beat someone up. And then I get to harass a girl and drink in and throw them around and run amok, you know what I mean? Scream and carry on. I'm like, I'm not fucking acting. This is me normal.
This is
when I go out. This role suited me to a T. The only thing that wasn't normal is that little Thai guy beating me up because that would never happen. Right? That's the only thing. But everything else was mate, I wasn't even acting. Right. Yeah. And to the point where all these extras and all that will say, oh, so Nick, how many movies have you done? I'm like, what do you mean? This is my first one. Yeah. No way. You've done this before. Yeah. No. But then I thought about it. It's like what I do at the discos when I used to go out. Yeah. Carry on. You know, whatever.
Yeah, but that was the same thing as me. I was like, I wonder how many films he's done, you know, because it was so good. It was just so well done. And And afterwards, how did the fame go from there? The Thai Brad Pitt.
Huh? Nah. Okay. I got another. We've done a casting for another movie. The same director of Over the Top, some Jewish guy, right? And so I was there. I was one of the bodyguards of one of the main guys that was in the movie, and then we had a break. You know what I mean? Like, oh, sorry, you there?
That's right.
Yeah, we had a break, right? So in that break, I had to go casting for a Jackie Chan movie, Twins Effect, right? And they said, yeah, you can go. So I went casting for that, and I came back like 10 minutes late. And that director lost the plot, started screaming at me. I mean, if you Google the guy's name, apparently a lot of stars have had problems with him. Yeah, so he's a real rude, arrogant prick. He had a go, and I'm like, I was going to walk up and give him the biggest slap, right? and my casting agent goes, no, Nick, fuck this. Right? No one talks to me like that. And then the guy sort of, he's an older guy, you know what I mean? But still, don't talk to me like that. I don't talk to you like that. Don't talk to me like that.
Chill out.
Yeah. Anyway, so I left. Then see for interview. What happened? I go, this is that. He goes, did you slap him? I go, no, but I'm going to. He goes, you should have slapped him. Well, I'm going back. He goes, no, go back. So,
very good.
So I left that it was like a kickboxing movie, but it didn't go. There was an Aussie guy starring in it, but it didn't go. It didn't get anywhere.
Sure.
So cool. I left, went back to the hotel room. 3 days later, they ring him up to come back. I'm like, oh, fuck you. You know what I mean? I ain't coming back. You know, you have to suck up to these people, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
I don't need that. I don't care. You know what I mean? When you guys are making a movie, I live that life real, yeah? Whatever. Then I've done the Twins Effect movie in Bangkok. We were there on set for about 8 days. We probably filmed like 1 day because anyway, I ran out of time. And then I said, you know what? I want to go back to Pattaya. I was just having too much fun there. If I stayed in Bangkok, I could have done it. I left Thailand for a little bit. Then I got a phone call to be in Alexander the Great because I was doing it in Thailand.
Wow.
I'm like, you know what? For $400 a day, I'm making $700 or $600 a day doing PTs here in Melbourne. But I should have done it. Another one of the things, I should just go there and done it.
But I get what you mean. But where the opportunities at the time, hey, and
but they get, they do it in Thailand to get cheap labor and all that.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I didn't realize. 10 mil. Exactly. I didn't realize how Ong Bak was like went mainstream, like went all over the world. You know what I mean? So, you know what, Patrick? Got my mind. If I got my head clear, things just fall into my lap. It always does, always will. And he has here with Fightfit, you know what I mean? Our gym, Fightfit.
Here it is.
We've got my own gym, you know what I mean? Building the family up, and you know what I mean? Fightfit family.
Yeah.
Because I'm focused. When I wasn't focused,
that's awesome.
I didn't care.
No. Yeah. In segue that, thank you for that. There's a bit for everyone out there. Check out Ong Bak, and that was a movie where Kara just goes bonkers. He goes fucking bananas.
And
it was gold.
I had a mate that I haven't seen for like 10, 15 years before that. He was watching the movie. Then he went to the toilet on my scene. Then when he hears this person screaming, he looks out of his toilet going, I fucking know that voice. So, anyway, it was funny.
That's funny. We'll check it out. I'll put the link up when we get through this. So, Nick, you've just gestured your business, and if I can get to the next, block of our chat here, which has been great so far, it's the level of coaching, the level, you're a specialist striking coach now, your attention to detail, your attention to fighters. You've coached so many people in your time in Thailand. You've had a lot of experience with Shihan, Judd, Reid. Now your next project as such that you're working with is Naser Kassab, who's just an Australian champ now. And the world is it's all his if he listens to you, pretty much, to be honest.
He'll listen. He listens.
Yeah.
He listens. Yeah.
So with that, when you transitioned, and I'm sure I wanted to get a bite of this because I look up to you in a way of how you've transitioned from fighting to coaching or fighting to instructing and so on. How did you transition it? Did you get in? Did Sifu tell you here's an angle for you because of your knowledge and experience? Or it was you?
No. I had a fight here and I lost here when 2008, And then because I wasn't training right, you know what I mean? It just was, my mindset wasn't there, whatever. There's too many distractions, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Too much of the good life, whatever. So I went to Thailand. I meant to be there for 3 months. And that 3 months ended up being 9 years and 8 months, right? And then I had a fight in Thailand with one of the Thai champions there. I just boxing, but it was, he was knocking everyone out. So I had a fight there. And that was my last fight. And Judd trained me there, helped me train for that. Pushed me and sparred me, sparring Judd. Fuck, anyway. I was like, it was just boxing, right? But so I was always training people since like 21, 22. And then when I went back to the gym, when I had injury from work, I was assisting training people. I was in the corners. I loved it, man. I get more of a rush training others than me fighting. You know what I mean? Because I just love it, man. I just love it. Even George Soteropoulos got me in the UFC Australia versus the UK, the Smashers. Yes. I was a striking coach there.
You were?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes.
So I was there. There's a lot of stories there, but anyway. But so I was there. So I mean, I love it. And you just, mate, Patrick, you know, if someone knows what they're talking about, even if they don't know what they're talking about, and they've got that passion, people can feed off that.
Yes.
I fucking love it, man.
Yeah,
I get a rush. Even me talking about it now, my heart's going.
Yeah, that's mad. Same with mine. It's good. I
love it. You know how some people after fighting they got nowhere to go. Nah, I'll be doing this. I'm going to go spar now, right? One of the young kids, right? 20 years old, 18, 19-year-old kid, right? About 6'2". I'm going to go spar him now. I love this shit, mate. If I die something like that for sparring, I don't care. I'll be dying happy. But I love it, and I'll do this for a fucking long time. So I always knew I got another, my fighting finished, cool, because I knew I couldn't. If I can't train the way I trained before, no point cheating, because you're only going to lose,
Sure.
So it was easy for me to transition from there straight just to training people. And so I was training people out of Thailand. Went to Sydney, do that UFC show for about 6 weeks, back to Thailand, training people. Helped Judd out. Judd helped me out. We helped the boys out. We helped the boys on the Kyokushin shows. I was in his Judd's corner for the couple of, when he won the belt, the world champion belt in Pattaya. So I was there. Mate, nothing better when someone listens. Even though Judd knows everything, even though when I said, finish with the kick, Judd, bang! He's got faith. When you got faith in your trainer or your mate or this, that, mate, you can't lose, mate. So
it's pretty sweet, isn't it?
Yeah, because when my mates are fighting, I'm fighting. When Naser's fighting, I get a cold sore at the end of the week, at the end of the fight week, mate. At the end of the fight, us and Naser, us Eddie, right? I get a cold sore, run down. I'm like, when he's finished fighting, I'm sleeping for 2 days, mate.
Yeah,
is that going out? That's how I get involved. That's how. I don't care about the glory of my boy. Fuck that, mate. I care about my fighters. I want them to do their best. If we lose, doing the best doesn't matter. People will still talk about it. You lose, and you get the fight of the year. You know what I mean? But before the Thailand ordeal, I was training Faisal Fayad, Dinesh, I was training Stan, I was training Paul Lee, we had about Dimi Panagopoulos. Wow. We had a lot of fighters. And then I went to Thailand and I was about to come back. I didn't come back, so everyone's gone everywhere. You know what I mean? But so I was always training people. But in the end, I was training people, I was training myself too, fighting. That was hard.
As coach and trainer, how do you, and with your level of contacts and expertise, how were you, I guess, learning on the job? You learning on the job, or is it just natural within what you're doing? Like, did you follow, some people follow Freddie Roach, some people follow Faraz, GSP. It was not
good trainers. Good Faraz, smart. Guy. Looks like a smart guy. And the way he speaks is smart. I sometimes when I'm trying to explain something or want to do something, like in my head, I know what I want. I'm like, fucking put your foot there, turn off. But there's a proper scientific way to say it. It doesn't matter. I still know how to do it anyway. I know, like any other good trainer, I can see shit before shit even happens. You know what I mean? You can see habits. You can see a lot of people have the same habits, bad habits. You can see, okay, this is what we're going to do to beat this guy. If you stick to the plan, you'll beat this guy. That's what makes a good trainer. A good trainer doesn't train everyone the same way. Because you might be different to me. You might have fast twitch fibers. I might be bigger. I might be slower. I might be shorter. I might be whatever. But the foundations are the same. But you got to find abilities in each person and just grow on that and build on that and add that. Have an open mind. I'm not one side like boop. All right, we're boxing. Okay, we can do this in boxing. Kickboxing. Okay, we can slap the hook and throw the kick or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
MMA, different fucking punching, mate. You can't block in MMA like you're doing boxing. Yeah. Right, you have to be open-minded. You know, people are just one like that. No.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's fascinating. Mate. Very good.
Like it's like in real life, mate. You can't just. It's not choreographed in real life.
You get left behind. Yeah, and you get left behind, and especially in this game.
And I'll learn from the smallest kid. In Thailand, when we went to Sichitong Gym back in 95, right? Sichitong Gym. No one spoke English, so I was just hanging out the ropes, looking at the little kids coming from school, doing shit. I'm like, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, and I was like I was like late mid-20s, like 23, 24. I mean, that's pretty interesting. And you learn from that. You learn from everybody, man.
Yeah.
There's not only one way to skin a cat, mate. There's a many. Kyokushin, different type of kicking, you know, then Thai boxing, different type of knee, then you know what I mean? K1, you're jumping off the cage, you're springing off there, kicking someone in the head, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, be open-minded and find a way.
I'm right here. Yeah, we got you. No, that you're listen to that, guys. You can just feel Nick's passion just come through, and it's more. Yeah, I've opened a can of worms, haven't I?
Oh, mate.
But that's what Nick, respectfully, reason why I wanted to talk to you. You know, I have the similar passions as you in respect of, you know, that intensity, that level, and sharing with others. And when my fighters are on the mat, some go, "Oh, do you miss it?" Fuck, I don't miss it because I got 3 fighters on this card, 3 by 3 minutes. I'm fighting for 27 minutes, and then I'm in the back, and then we're warming them up, you know. And
spot on.
Yeah, and
spot
then
on. Do you miss it? It's not about me. It's about them now. Why even ask that question? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's the cool bit, because I can answer it back to those people that are like, "Oh, do you miss it?" And it's like, of course you're going to miss it. Of course I'm going to miss doing something. But there's so much more. You know, when people say that, "Oh, you've got now's your turn to give back," and I really see that. I see that with you a lot. You know, and it just rubs off. It's really good to see. Nick, go for it.
I mean, like what you just said there, do you miss it? I was fighting and training. I'm sure, I don't know if you're fighting and training too, or competing and training as well, training others as well, right? Yeah. And it was hard, but I was thinking more about them than me. You know what I mean? Yes. And I lost a couple of times because of that and other circumstances. But if it was all about me, because it's got to be selfish sometimes to excel in your competition. But because I had 11, 12, 13 active fighters and I was fighting, you know what I mean? It's hard to be selfish, man. If I was selfish, I wouldn't train them. And then my whole life, I never had anyone. I had my mates and my 2 cousins, and I had my mates. Right. So when someone needs me, I got to help them. So I put me last. Yeah. And that's why I sort of neglected my career a bit when I should have. Sure. No, I don't regret it. I didn't regret it. I should have another 20 more fights. And when I did lose, doesn't matter. Live and learn. I came back and won another 8 fights in a row. And then I dropped my guard a bit, bang, lost again, and then come back and won another 6 fights in a row. You know what I mean? Yeah. But
when you had the moment and in helping Judd for his 100-man kumite, you know, can you share a little bit, again, the listeners, again, the Kyokushin shuffle is Kyokushin as a base, but the shuffle, there's everyone around that I want to tap into. And I guess the beautiful work that rest in peace Anton did for you know, that documentary.
Yeah. What a gentleman that guy was.
Yeah. What do you feel when I say to you how, you know, that time that you guys worked, and I mean, I'm talking worked, by the looks of it, you know, how did you manage that within the ranks?
Different level altogether, what Judd went through. You know what I mean? Speechless. Like I can't even explain it. I mean, you've seen the video, you've seen the look in his faces when he's fucking lifting logs up, when he's running, when he's doing this. You see when he's copping. You see the last 10 fights, he had to do the look. The look says, a picture says 1,000 words. I have nothing. I can't express it. Unfucking believable how strong this human is still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And respect, good bloke, and caring. Never, mate. Just spot on, man. Yeah. You see, what you see is what you get.
Correct.
The conditioning, I didn't know about the conditioning side of it until Judd kicked me in the fucking leg. Right? I'm like, oh, here we go. and I'm a kickboxer. But he was whipping his kick, right? I'm like, okay. And then I learned stuff off Judd.
Yeah.
And I just had mind spin. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had mind spin, but what a superhuman! He made me go. He made me do a Kyokushin fight in China in 2 weeks' notice. In Shanghai, because I try and put it. He's got black belts in Dubai. We'll give him black belt, going to black belt in the open, black belt. And I went in and I ended up going. I ended up hitting the guy with the left hook three times and dropped him. And I got the warnings, whatever.
Yeah,
and this guy was dead. That's another one. I forgot all about that. Judd made me do that. Because Steve was saying, we'll put him in a brown belt. Judd goes, no, wait, you got to put him in black belt.
Yeah,
and then I got fouled a couple of times. So
you got disqualified.
But we killed the guy anyway. He was fun. But and that was a different level, another level of conditioning.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Yes.
And I knew about conditioning, but not Judd, Reid, Kyokushin, or Kyokushin. Then a different level of Judd, Reid conditioning, and then I my mind up with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even now, I send Naser to Judd.
Yes,
twice a week. You got to go there and do the conditioning. I'll smash you on the game plan, on the pads, on this and that, and push the rest of it. But you need to team. Judd and I are team working with Naser,
of course,
and I've got a couple other boys that are going to try next year too. But so with Judd, I learned so much about him.
Yeah, good.
Such a humble guy, dangerous guy. And he's open-minded too. He's just like me. He goes, fuck, that's good, Nick. How'd you do that? I'll do that. Show him. You know what I mean? But we all learn from each other. No one knows everything, and you can't be, he knows more than me. You know what? Good that he knows more than you. Pick something up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And don't be threatened.
Nah. And this is the
get threatened, mate.
This is the magic part of me doing this, and this is where it started. And I've got an ebook coming out, and it is to share knowledge. It's to continue to share. Grab one thing, grab a nugget from someone. I've grabbed 10 things already, and I'll listen to this again.
And I'll say it. I'll say I got it off him.
Yeah.
I'll build him up. I'm not threatened by what I know and I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not threatened at all, mate, because I know a lot, and I know there's a lot more to learn. And then I'm watching UFC every fucking Sundays with my 2-year-old, and she's like, yeah, she doesn't know what she's clapping about. And I'm studying the stuff that they're doing, and I'm adding that. Okay, we're gonna do that in boxing. We're gonna do that in kickboxing. Yeah, you bit different with those little gloves. Okay, cool. And then I've got a couple of MMA guys that I'm helping out. Really awesome blokes. Nico, Jordan. You know what I mean? And they're
cool.
Again. I have 1,000 people like Naser, Nathan, Lee, Nico, Jordan. I'll train 1,000 people. Otherwise, I don't want to train anyone. Right? I got one girl, Lauren. You know what I mean? She's again, gives me 120%. Now, and you learn. Everyone's got to train different because everyone's different. And so be open-minded. You know what I mean?
Well,
embrace what works for you, what works for them, and just. That's what a good coach, I believe, is about.
Very cool. Well, we've got about another 10 minutes. I hope you're okay with that. You cool for another 10?
Yeah, cool. I'll go in and spar for 5 minutes. I'll be right.
So the next one that you've segued a couple here, and that's the next Rough in the Diamond / he's going to be a superstar if he sticks to it, and that's Naser. And you've mentioned some things there, but respectfully, big things for next year. There were going to be big things for this year, but when I say big things, I'm on the same level as you. It's got big things are there, but there's still a lot of work to be done, and who knows.
I mean, we've had opportunities with Naser to go to fight in Germany for a world title, right? Wow. And I'm like, nah. Yeah. All right. And this guy, they go, no, but he's only had like 16 fights. And I looked at this guy up, mate. This guy's had 30 fights, world champion, whatever. They're not going to fly anyone from Australia to Germany to be an even fight. And doesn't mean Naser can't do it. Sure. I believe Naser can do it. But I've got a plan. I'm sticking to the plan. The plan is get Naser 20 fights. You know what I mean? And then we're traveling the world. You know what I mean?
Roger
we're traveling the world. And that's the plan. And so we're sticking to the plan. So this 8-man that's coming up for Naser, hard fights. There's a couple of guys at 40, 50 fights in it. That's okay. Fuck them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, they don't care. I don't care who they are. It's a fight. And Naser has been doing Kyokushin since a little baby, yeah?
Yeah.
So he's not like he's had 9 fights, not kickboxing fights, but he's all right. You'll surprise a lot of these guys that are going to go in there thinking, we can do this, we can do that. Because once they cop one of the punches and one of the kicks with Naser, right?
Yeah. So that's next. So the journey as such, or the next chapter starts in January. Is that you guys are busy?
March the 6th on Prince Ali's promotion.
Oh, that's all. My apologies. Yeah,
it's an eight man. It's an 8 man.
You guys were
78 kilos.
Beautiful. So guys, we'll have to keep an eye out for that. But
Ali's a good guy. Ali's a good guy. Prince Promotions. March 6th. I wanted to get Naser last year on it, even this year, but then all shit happened with COVID. Stopped the world. So
that's cool.
We finished Naser. Last year we finished Naser with the boxing fight because all the shows got cancelled or whatever. Some shows got cancelled. I got him a boxing fight. And he just
that's good. My comparison here is going to be again on tapping into your coaching mindset and your leadership styles of the various people that you've trained with, from a Judd to a Naser, from a 41-year-old man, 40 to here, how go for it. I've already triggered.
Man, I've trained with a lot of big names.
Yeah.
Peter Ertz, a lot of big Russian boys, Jason Psycho Suddy from New Zealand, Daniel Dawson, 5-time world champ, you know what I mean? Yotsunan 3K, who's like WBC world champ at 58 kilos, but I used to spar him and I used to beat him to the punch. You know what I mean? That's how quick I was. So, but I'd learn off them, I'd work on my speed, my fast. So I've trained with a lot and I sparred a lot of elite athletes, you know what I mean? A lot of big names. And I did. No good to talk about gym talk. Whatever's in the gym happens in the gym.
Sure.
At boxing fights. And I've sparred a lot of big names in the boxing, and I held my own. You know what I mean? But I got getting sidetracked. You know what I mean? But okay, I've learned the hard way, and I can teach. This is what if you're gonna do this shit, this is what's gonna happen because I've fucking done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm telling you. Yeah. I've done it, and this is what's going to happen. You're going to do this, you're going to do that, whatever. And
sure.
I learned the hard way. I didn't have the push. You know what I mean? I kept getting sidetracked. But anyway, if I didn't do it, I wouldn't have known. You know what I mean? So no one can pull the wool off my eyes when it comes to training, whatever, or up to no good when you're going out, whatever. You know what I mean? Because I had to learn the hard way. But at least I'm going to bring that into my boys and girls that I train.
No, and that's the bit there for listeners out there. The trainer or the coach or the
Fightfit
Fightfit
gyms. Yeah,
there it is. So let's end it on that one, Nick. So your Fightfit gym, tell us where it is, and let's get people down there and follow your page and follow Nick Cara as well. And all the above.
I'll do it nice and quick. The plan was come back from Thailand. Had enough of Thailand. Come back. So I came back. Get my house. Get the dogs back from Thailand. My dogs back to Australia, did that, married my wife, have the baby, sell the house, buy another house, which we did all that, and then get a gym. And when I spoke to Bash and Rowan and Paul and the rest of the Fightfit crew, these guys, I want to open up a gym, and I like to do it with you guys. They jumped at it. You know what I mean? I didn't realize, I don't look at myself about, I mean, I know I'm an asset, but I don't realize how much I've had, I've touched a lot of people the way I am, you know what I mean? But I know I'm loyal. I'll never betray anyone's loyalty. So they jumped at it. We found a site in Moorabbin, 18 Melbourne Road, Moorabbin. 2 full-size rings, 42 bags, boxing bags, kickboxing bags, boxing bags, Thai boxing bags, strength condition area, you know what I mean?
Awesome.
Got a whole heap of cardio machines and all that, like what Judd has at Chicago.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The grinders and the ski ergs and all that stuff. And yeah, man, we just started 2 days ago, and we're gonna in about a month's time we're gonna be chock-a-block.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Nick, Coach Cara, it's been awesome. Thank you so much, man. Loved it. Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you so much for your time. Listeners, be sure to follow Nick Cara and please, support his gym in respect of what's ahead. He puts up some cool content and more so, some big things happening in all things for 2021. So all the best. Thank you so much for your time. A big was to you.
Support
and all
all
your team.
gyms. Support all gyms. You know what I mean? Support all small businesses. We've gone through a hard time, but we got this, mate. We got this. We're not quitters, mate. No, I never say die. You know what
especially
I mean?
In this.
Never say die. But thank you so much, Patrick.
Big us. Thank you, Nick. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Patrick. See you, man. Thanks, mate.